Hello and welcome back to Soulscription. I'm Chelsea and today we are going to be making a zucchini summer squash stir fry over cauliflower rice. So, hands are washed, aprons on, got a smile, and hair is up. We're ready to do this. Our ingredients today are going to be 1 summer squash, 1 zucchini, 1 head of cauliflower, a lemon for 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. I'm going to use a couple cloves of garlic, some raw honey, some red pepper flakes, and a little bit of water and a whole lot of love. So let's get started. First, we're going to get started with our cauliflower rice. Cauliflower. So wash the cauliflower, which I've already done, and then we're going to go ahead and just break it into chunks. Sometimes cutting it in half is easiest. Just set these other things aside. So you just want to chunk it up so that it's easy to go into our food processor. So take the lid off of that. You can kind of see how I'm just breaking it into pieces here just to get it down into the food processor. And we're going to blend this until it's like a coarse rice-like consistency. Okay, so we'll start with this and see how far this gets us. It's going to be loud here for just a second. Okay, it's looking pretty good here. We are our coarse cauliflower-y. Oh, we got a couple chunks in there. Maybe we'll keep going just a little bit longer. Maybe put a little bit more of our cauliflower in. If you need to stir it, you can, but sometimes you can just add a little bit more and see where it goes. All right, let's give it another go. Okay, so I think we've hit our spot. Maybe we'll take out a couple chunks here. Stir this cauliflower down in there so we can get it just a little bit more blended. Put our lid back on. Maybe shake it a little bit. Okay, here we go. And voila, rice cauliflower. Lovely. I don't think that we're going to need all of this, so depending on how many people you're cooking for, can depend on how much cauliflower you use. We will save this cauliflower for another recipe. I like to throw aside any of the parts that you don't use we just put it in a Tupperware, and that goes in our compost pile outside, which turns into delightful soil that is packed with all kinds of nutrients for all the things that we grow in our garden. Okay, next we are going to peel our summer squash. Now, it's especially important to peel if you're using conventional produce that's not organic, because that is definitely sprayed with lots of pesticides and herbicides, and you want to get as much of that off as possible. So peel that. Again, that can all go into the compost bin. So put that aside. Go ahead and chop the ends off of it. I like to cut it down the middle. If you like to de-seed it, we can go ahead and do that, which I do prefer to de-seed that. I read in a book called The Plant Paradox about little things called lectins, which are basically bad for your stomach and can cause leaky gut. And turns out that the peels and seeds of most fruits and vegetables actually have those in there. So we want to go ahead and de-seed that. So to do that, I just take a spoon, scrape out the middle. Again, that can go into our compost bin. Voila. And we'll do the other side. And there we go. Then I like to go ahead and flip them over, and we'll just chop them up into pieces to put in our stir fry. They can be however thick or thin that you like them. All right, all chopped there. We'll get a bowl to put that in. And set that aside. Next, we're going to do our zucchini. So same thing, peel and slice. So peel the skin off. You know, if it is organic, you actually can leave the skins on, but we prefer them off. Chop the ends off. Cut it down the middle as well. And this one I'm going to cut into cubes. I prefer the zucchini to be more of a cubes situation. And there's really not much seeds in this one, so no, I won't be de-seeding it. Okay, that is all chopped. Get another bowl and set that aside. Next, we'll move to our lemon. So we only need 1 tablespoon of lemon juice, but we're going to go ahead and, I like to actually kind of roll the lemon on the cutting board just to kind of soften it up. And then slice it in half. And we have a little lemon juicer here. And lemon peels, actually, if you have a garden, you can chop them up and you can put them out in your garden and they deter aphids. So I think half of a lemon will be enough for 1 tablespoon. So we'll set that other one aside. And lastly, oh no, we have 2 things left. We have our green onions and we have our garlic. So we're going to do 3 cloves of garlic. So if you have a regular garlic clove, if you've never used one before, you just kind of break them apart and they'll come off into little cloves. And then what I like to do is take the knife and lay it flat and push down on top of the clove. And then that kind of makes this little skin around it come so that you can easily peel it off. Put that into our compost. And then we're going to mince up that onion, or I mean that garlic. Okay, 2 more. You can actually do those at the same time. So again, smashing them down so we can peel the skin off. And I don't know that that's a must, but just something that I've always done and I prefer to do. So to each their own. right. Put that in a little bowl. And lastly, we have our green onion. We are going to just dice up the green onion as well. This recipe is from a book called Cleanse to Heal by Anthony Williams. And I am very excited to be making this. As we were talking about earlier about toxins, you know, that's one thing that we want to cleanse from our body is toxins. And so using these recipes that actually help to detoxify our bodies, help us to heal in all sorts of ways. Food is medicine. Okay, got our green onions chopped. Okay, so now we're going to be making our cauliflower rice. So we're going to get our skillet hot first by placing it on medium-high heat. And as soon as it's hot, which it is, we're going to go ahead and add 1/4 cup of water. And then we're going to go ahead and add our riced cauliflower to it. We're going to cover and let this simmer for about 2 to 3 minutes until it's tender. So it's been about 2 to 3 minutes now, and our rice cauliflower is tender. So we're going to go ahead and take that off of the stove and set it aside. I like to keep the things that I want to stay hot in like a metal bowl or something that will actually hold the heat. So that's what I'm placing it in. Turn our pan back on medium-high heat. And we're going to go ahead and get started with the stir fry. So we're going to go ahead and add our summer squash, our zucchini, our minced garlic, put all of that out there, and our green onions. And lastly, we're going to add 1 teaspoon of our red pepper flakes. All right. Go ahead and give those a little stir. Maybe add just a tiny bit of water if you need to for the bottom of the pan so that it doesn't stick. So we're going to go ahead and cover that and let it cook for about 5 to 6 minutes or until the summer squash and zucchini are soft. Okay, so now we are just going to check and see if our summer squash and zucchini are softened. And so we'll do that by taking a fork and just pressing into them and seeing if it goes in easily, which it does. You want to pick out some of your bigger pieces to check. Okay, so since those are softened, then we'll go ahead and set that aside. We're going to add our raw honey and our lemon juice. So we'll do 1 teaspoon of raw honey. And then we're going to do 1 tablespoon of lemon juice. We have a little bit more. We'll just put that in there. Go ahead and give it all a stir. And we're just going to let it cook for just a little bit longer with those 2 things added in, just to give a little bit more flavor. And then we'll be all finished. It smells delicious. Okay, so we're all finished now. We've got our riced cauliflower and we've got our summer squash and zucchini with our garlic and green onions and honey and lemon juice and red pepper flakes. So we'll go ahead and put our riced cauliflower on the plate. Lots of little guest appearances in this video. Gypsy and Hunter. And then we're going to go ahead and add some of our veggie medley to the top. And voila! Summer squash, zucchini, stir fry with riced cauliflower. And it looks and smells delicious. Thanks for joining. If you try this recipe, let me know. Let me know how it turns out for you. If you try anything else, add anything to it. This is my first time making this, so we are really excited to give it a whirl. Comment below, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell so that you can follow us. And yeah, looking forward to engaging with you and meeting you soon. Thank you.